Hey, let's talk about iOS 14 and how you can start dealing with it. Okay. Now a lot of people hear iOS 14 update and think that they are not affected because it targets people who use Android devices, right? But the truth is it affects every single person advertising on Facebook. Okay, this video is not about you knowing about the iOS 14 and how it affects you as a media buyer on Facebook. This video is just to give you some tips on how you can survive it. Okay, how you can evolve, okay, in your advertising, and that's what I'm going to be talking about now. For those persons who already know what it is, the first way that you can deal with it is making use of the expansion option. Okay, so Facebook gives you the option to expand audiences, okay, to expand your audience. Now, before now, right, I have advised people not to make use of it, but Facebook has become really intelligent. Let's say the Facebook AI, not Facebook itself, the AI has become really very intelligent in terms of finding the right type of persons for your advertising, the kind of people you're trying to reach. Okay, the people suitable who are likely to respond to your advertising. Okay, and this doesn't rule out other things. Okay, your targeting has to be right, your audience, your messaging has to be right. Make sure your offer is good. You want to make sure that you select the right objective. Okay, so you have to do all of that. Okay, this video is not to teach you how to run your ads, it's just to give you tips on how to cope with these things. All right, so if you don't know how to run ads, if you don't know how to run profitable ads, you should learn how to do that even before thinking about dealing with iOS 14 update. All right, so basically expanding your audience. Okay, so you have to first, don't go and do all of those broad targeting that people like, zero targeting, starting with zero targeting and all. I know that now you can't rely on the Facebook pixel 100%. Okay, so but while you're still on Facebook still knows their users. Okay, so you still need to do your targeting right on Facebook. Okay, so I want to advise that you start with zero targeting, like not having anything. Yeah, it works for some people. Okay, zero targeting, you should be using zero targeting for scaling and not for starting new campaigns. That's my take on that. All right, so how does these expansion option works? Now, while you're trying to create your campaigns in the ad set level, there are three levels to your campaigns. You have a campaign level where you choose your objective. You have the ad set level where you choose your targeting, where you do all of your targeting, and you have the ads level where you have your creatives and your copy. All right, so the ad set level is where you will be able to expand your targeting. So right here, you want to make sure, like I said, you want to make sure you are doing detailed targeting. Okay, so you are actually targeting the people who are more likely to respond. What that means is when you expand it, Facebook is going to go out into the pool, and into that same pool that people who have kind of similar traits, similar match, and who are more likely to respond to your advertising as well. Okay, so you should first do your detailed targeting. So for instance, I want to target the brand, let's say L'Oreal, right? I'm just using L'Oreal for instance. Okay, so I target L'Oreal and I'm targeting you'll be surprised that L'Oreal is predominantly liked by men. right? Is it Hillary? I've forgotten anyway, but you can check that. I always do your research, by the way. Okay, and let's say you're trying to remain from the age of 27 to the age of, say, 45. Okay, now you can see that the potential reach here is 140. Okay, this is what we want to target. This is what we are telling Facebook right now, that, see, Facebook, I'm interested in you finding these people for me. Okay, people who, you know, have expressed some interest in L'Oreal as a brand, right? And I'm not saying that okay, you know what, I want to give you the free room. Okay, you probably are going to find people who have similar traits and who are even more likely to, you know, perform the action that they want. Conversions, of course, if that is what you want, right? That is what, by ticking this, I'm telling Facebook that is what you can do for me. Because now the truth is, you know, the optimization actually works by Facebook learning about the whole pixel activities, what is taking place and all of that, you know. But now they are limited. Okay, that's why they now introduce aggregated events. Okay, if you don't know how to do all of that, you need to start learning how to do that. Okay, that this video is not about teaching you all of those. Okay, now Facebook allows you to predominantly make use of eight event types. Okay, so you have to choose them wisely. You need to know the type of events you want. Okay, now Facebook doesn't record all purchases, all right, because of the whole iOS 14 thing, right? So you want to give Facebook the room to do this. So still go out and maybe look around outside of this pool that you have, people who kind of have similar traits, okay, to this pool that you've chosen. Okay, the second way to deal with this is making use of offline audiences. Okay, so how does this really work? Simply means you need to build a list. That's what it means. Okay, you need to build a list. You need to build a list. You really need to build a list. Okay, now what this does is, once you're able to build a list, then you can now create custom audiences. Okay, like I said before, because of this whole iOS 14 update, retargeting is not going to be as effective. It's not going to be as effective as it used to. Not that it's not effective. It's not going to be as effective as it used to because of this whole iOS 14 thing. Okay, so you cannot rely solely on just the pixels. Okay, so you need to collect leads, upload these leads on Facebook. Of course, you can do that. Okay, very easy to do. All you just have to do is go to your audiences from the tools section, and you will be able to create your audiences. If you don't know how to do that, there are a whole lot of videos out there teaching you exactly how you can create your audiences. Okay, so create your audiences on Facebook, because there's a whole lot you can do with that. All right, so you upload the audiences. Now you can create lookalike audiences, right? Create 1% lookalike audiences, and remember, you can do the expansion thing. You should do it. Okay, so create lookalike audiences. 1%. Start with 1%. You start with 1%. Always start with 1%. Okay, now why that works is because these people are still on the Facebook platform. Whatever activity is going on the Facebook platform, Facebook can track it. The only activity that Facebook cannot track is when it goes out of Facebook. So if it's leaving Facebook and going to your website, Facebook is limited, okay, with the amount of data they can pull from your website. But you can still give them the data to work with. So you should be collecting leads, build a list, upload the list back into Facebook, and you can now retarget that list. You see how that works? Brilliant, right? Yeah. I know some people don't know about that, but I know some people still know, and some people don't make use of it. So now you know, now you have a reason to make use of that. The third way that you can deal with this is through what I call omnipresence marketing. Okay, now if you don't know, marketing is what actually happens before you sell. Okay, marketing should make your selling easy. If you've been following me for a long time or for a while, you should know that I say that you shouldn't sell on Facebook, because people are not on Facebook to buy. No one wakes up in the morning with the thought of buying something, more or less doing it off Facebook. No one does that. Okay, so you want to learn how to market. Okay, you don't do the selling on Facebook. So how does this work? It simply means don't just rely on Facebook for your marketing. Okay, start diversifying. Look into other platforms. Look into YouTube. Yeah, YouTube is still affected by the whole iOS thing, but you know, you should look, but it's not as bad as Facebook, right? And you can do it organically. You mustn't even run ads. Yeah, you can run ads, but you mustn't. Okay, for those persons who think they are on a very tight budget. But if you can run ads on YouTube, you should do it. Okay, so don't just rely on Facebook. Okay, still use Google, use YouTube. Okay, create content. Right, use Twitter, create content. Right. Get a blog for your brand, have a blog section for your brand, all right, and make posts and get organic traffic. Okay, so these are 3 ways you can deal with iOS 14 update. And because truth is, the whole iOS 14 updates have affected conversions. Yes, it has, right? There is no one who will say that their conversion has been the same since the whole iOS 14, especially with retargeting campaigns, right? Especially with retargeting campaigns, because yeah, in cases whereby you're probably going to be seeing 20 ROAS, 20s ROAS, right, 40s ROAS, it's going to drop, because now Facebook cannot track everyone who is landing on your site to be able to retarget them for you. So you have to do this. Okay, you have to, most especially, you have to create these audiences and upload them back to Facebook. Yeah, not every time that people still uses the email they filled your form with on Facebook. Yeah, we've seen that. Okay, but you know, you're probably going to have maybe 80% success rate, mash rate, right? So you should use that. So these are 3 things or 3 ways that you can actually deal with this. I hope you enjoyed this whole explanation, and I hope you implement it. So it's not just knowing about it, you're still going out there and implementing it. All right, so that's it, guys, for this video. Bye. And before I forget, if you enjoyed the video, why not give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. Okay, I post really nice stuff here. If you look around, there are a whole lot of stuff that you can learn on here. All right, so come on, you can give it a like, subscribe. Of course, it still encourages me that I'm reaching people out there. All right, so that's it, guys. Bye.